Hmm. All right. Hello, guys. Looks like the market overnight sessions. So these are the Nasdaq futures right here. Looks like they poked under the 50-day slightly and coming right back. So that's a good sign that we're not having a sell-off overnight. That's a pretty good sign. See what investors has to say. Stock futures shrug off trade war. Pot stock gets TEA nod. That's interesting. Tilroy headed to a pre-market rally among top cannabis names. Yeah, that's been part of our top market screener for a while now. Using Tilroy rally, a lot. Up another 12%. Dang. All right, let's go through these market movers, guys. VKTX, not bad. JVA, Zeal, Nexio, Tilroy again. Man, 135 now. This has just got to be one of the best performing, well, basically almost anything of this year of any substantial size. 290% in like, what is that? 12 days, 11 days. That's insane. RDCM. Ooh. At 1375, so barely coming back after a huge down day yesterday. That's a natural reaction to that kind of a move. ACHV, CIFS, GLMD, THO up 7%. Oh. RFIL, LGND. What's up, Eli? VNet. And that's all we got. Looks like Raffle here is probably one of the better looking ones, except for Tilroy, which is naturally, up 13%. Tilroy does that, just goes up 13% every day. So that's a pretty big break of the 50-day there on RFIL, so not quite sure if I want to jump in on that one. 990. Yeah, just under that 50-day moving average, which is at 1011. You been in Slack chat at all, Eli, lately? No. We kind of got invaded a little bit yesterday by a new group of people. Power hour should be fun today. Twenty 14, 543 theories. Well, no one knows like the group's name. I don't think we know that, but it's just a bunch of new people, and they just started flooding chat pretty pretty quickly. We settled them down a little bit, and now we got to see what's going on there. So that's all. Nothing crazy yet. We'll have to see what happens. Anyway, got markets open in about 5 or so minutes. Yeah, these weren't like fresh blood. You got to scroll up and chat a bit to really kind of see what they were doing. I also created a troll box channel just for them to put crazy ass emojis in. So just need to see if just need to see how it goes today. Otherwise, I'll be kicking a bunch of people. The Bless says EC is up. I think EC is always up. You mean pre-market it's up? Let's go check out the 5-minute. Whoa. That's funky. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, looks like 26 up a little bit. Yep. So we got the NQ up 0.18%. Yes, up 0.1%. That's the S&P 500 futures. Oh, that's not bad. Hopefully we'll rally out of this. So let's go to IBD, and I want to see what the news was yesterday coming out of that Trump trade war thing. In which case, yesterday probably was a FUD event. Kind of sell the rumor, buy the news, if you will. Global markets dived, then rebounded after President Trump escalated the U.S. trade war by imposing 200 billion rand of tariffs. Oil prices climbed as data showed sharp declines in exports from Iran. Meanwhile, news reports with Saudi Arabia was comfortable with prices above $80. Yeah, you think? With a big twist. Yeah, this could get interesting. The whole trade war thing. But we'll just have to wait and see what actually happens. And so far, being a little supportive here. Volume isn't tremendous. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. What's up, Carlos? Well, looking at it now, it looks like most of those members aren't chatting right now. We just have kind of normal chat going on. We'll see what happens. Like Eli said, need the new blood. New blood's always good. This is just a lot of new blood at one time. And it's just always a lot of new things people aren't comfortable with. So, but they don't appear to be spammers. Some of them, I mean, they do talk some crazy stuff, but some of them are pretty good. So, how can Tilroy keep moving up? By keep going up. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just keep on keeping on. That's all I got to say about that. You got a 10-day moving average right here, rallying, and it can Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the exact. Let me look at Tilroy market cap. Let's go to Finviz real quick. Tilroy, 12 billion market cap. So price to sales is 437, which is massive. So yeah, it'll stop at some point, but just keep just keep riding it. Just keep moving that up. Just keep moving up, and let it make you money. No, I don't think it's that kind of a situation, Eli. These guys came from a referral. But either way, we'll just keep. Like I said, they're not really breaking any rules. They weren't being super disrespectful. They were just posting a lot of crazy emojis and talking a lot of smack, a lot of curse words, a lot of just stuff we don't usually do. But if we had one of these guys come in, it wouldn't be an issue. But since we had like 8 come in, it's just too much for people, and they just. But we got Daniel, Crypto Mouse, or Ted here. A lot of people here that are normal to the chat room talking again, so that's fine. That's what we need. Just need to keep that going. Well, like I said, we'll see how they behave. That's all. I kicked one of them out yesterday. Um, yeah, Tilroy gapped up. We noticed that in our pre-market screen there that we do every day. Looks like Tilroy, THO, OD, OG, RMF, Cron all up, but Tilroy really just the leader of this group so far. You can see there's your ICO base right there, and then boom, off to the races. It's pretty incredible if you ask me. I'm not mad at that whatsoever. Just let it go. This is why you also don't guess a top and don't guess a bottom for kind of inversely correlated reasons. So we got the NASDAQ up a little bit there. It just jumped over what would be a small consolidation, but I don't know, man. Like I said earlier, this thing's up like 300%. 321%. That's a train I'm not really comfortable jumping on. This thing could drop 30 to 40% in a day with no problem. With no problem. But yes, it could keep rallying in the same breath. You just kind of have to you just kind of have to go with it or don't. But it's way too extended up here, I think. You'd have to be very active on this. All right, so what we got here? We got BE up 1%, Match up 0.84%, CRM, Twilio, Generac, Home Depot up ever so slightly. FIVN, NASDAQ continues to rally here after the open. Pretty scary day yesterday, a little bit of a reversal today, which is nice. But that needs to get going, I think. We need to put this W bottom in and get above this level right here. That's 76.31. 76.27 it looks like. What's down? We got here Regeneron, WHD, Garmin, Fizz is down, FFIV is down. Fizz action here is looking a little bit ominous. WHD, a lot of red recently. Had a big red candle yesterday and a few days before that, all at about the same level, showing lots of distribution up here over 36 and a quarter. So dropping lower. I actually got out of WHD yesterday. We'll see what happens in a couple of days, but I'm not. I reduced positions a little bit. WHD got out of Regeneron. Just too much red. And it looks like that was a good idea. Oh, I thought you got out of WHD a long time ago. I thought you, or I thought you never got in. Either way, I thought you didn't have position. Yeah, I bailed. You know, not saying it's not going to work. You saw what happened with PKG, but it's just, you know what? I just wasn't feeling it. That's all. Anyway, it hasn't broken any rules. It may have been a premature sell, to be honest with you, but we still have all those higher lows in place. I just didn't like all this distribution up here. The volume wasn't really crazy, though. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it has that distribution, because it hasn't fully broken out yet. Nasdaq up almost 0.5% now. FF after a monster day yesterday. I mean, I wasn't really keeping an eye on this thing, but look at all those buying candles right there. Just a tremendous amount of volume. And then a huge breakout yesterday. This really, like I said, wasn't on my radar, but I wish it would have been. All these volume candles, classic pocket pivots before a massive breakout. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I just missed that one. I don't know how. But I've been looking at that one for a little bit, actually. BITO looking pretty good. Trend line forming right there, as you can see. Looks like it's volume declining as well. Maybe getting ready to make a move on BITO. HUYA looks like it's 3%. That's good. I don't see IQ here. EC up 2% again. I think just rocking higher. Yeah, I didn't have fuel on my radar for a while, though. But yeah, I do. I do set some alerts. I've been setting more and more, but, you know, you can't get them all. There's too many. There's just too many. But no, when I looked at this chart yesterday, let's go to the weekly. I had my line drawn like this, just right to here. I didn't have any of this. And so once it undercut here, I think I stopped looking at it. And then I somehow didn't see it when it started making moves over here. I didn't notice it. That's all. And I don't know why. But that's anyway, they don't always run like that. But sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. All right, NASDAQ 0.6%. That's pretty good. Twitter up a little bit. What's down today? Here, Twitch, Therm, Regeneron. A bunch of this and that. Signature Bank. Like I said, Regeneron. That's TZA. There's Regeneron. So Regeneron's still fighting around down here. Done with that thing. Match doing pretty good. Back up here towards the highs. It was down about 2.5% yesterday. Pretty scary day. But the volume wasn't really crazy. And then, see right there, volume very muted. Then today, looks like a nice little reversal. Hopefully that will keep going. We got CRM, FIVN. Looks like rolling over a little bit. A little bit of distribution up here. There's a pocket pivot right there towards the top. None since. Match.com. Pocket pivot a few days ago. Funko. Let's not forget about Funko. See what that's doing there. That could be a pretty decent bottoming candle in Funko. Let's see how that transpires. Match. SSTK Control 4. Noted yesterday, MEDP is a new one that we looked at. Failed breakout yesterday with the whole market getting squirrely. Domino's Pizza. UVE still looking good. Still kind of chomping high with a failed breakout yesterday. Kind of no bueno there. But yeah, WHD making a decent comeback. Hopefully Home Depot continues to rally. Coors, are you coming back? A little bit of curling action right there. That would be nice. That would be nice. Cisco looking pretty healthy up here. SIVB hasn't broken down yet. Also hasn't broken out yet. Have my alert set right there, just before the breakout point. And then Fizz barely positive. Garmin barely positive. And the three that are down here. So that's my general more immediate watch list. Tilroy just chilling at that 12% level. That 12% gap level. See what happens. Like I said, this thing trades like an ADR. Just gaps around all over the place. A little difficult to trade in that one right now. OGRMF is a very small cap MJ stock, and it's on a OTC, so it's should be a little more volatile, but the price action is very healthy here. Very nice cup with handle, horizontal breakout level, and then now we're just kind of chilling up here towards $6. Cron not doing too bad. There's on a pullback right now sitting over there. Hold on, guys. Give me a minute. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so nothing too wrong with the market. We got the NASDAQ up 0.6%. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Down 0.17%. It was up earlier. So that's an interesting development on the NASDAQ. Kind of looks a lot like a rising wedge, doesn't it? Maybe something like that for the S&P. Let's go ahead and zoom out on this. Let's go to the weekly. Now this is the S&P 500 futures. So it's slightly different. It's not an exact representation. WHD up 1.73%. That's too early of a sell. Darn it. I wanted to take out a position or two just to lighten up in case we drop today. And I took out the wrong one. We'll see what happens. I also got rid of Regeneron, which is good. Looks good. Fizz reversed and rolling over a little bit lower today. So S&P in kind of a rising wedge situation. Let's take a gander outwards. In very declining volume too. Look at that on the ES. We had pretty heavy volume on the way down here. And oh, that's the wrong ES. That's not futures. That's a stock. There we go. That looks better. All right, so we already had a channel. We already broke it to the upside and to the downside, it looks like. That's hilarious. So there's a candle. Let's reduce and reuse and recycle that one as a horizontal price level there. Wow, it's up 3% right now. Maybe I should jump back in that position. Oh, no, that's Funko. Yeah, it's just looking really wide and loose, like a lot of distribution up here. That's all. I didn't think it was broken, but just looking to eliminate a little bit of my exposure, like I said. Home Depot, just chilling. Not too big of a crazy day going on today. Well, I think there's some sector rotation going on, is what I think. 63 funds just put 266 million into this top rated stock. Let's take a look. You got me with the headline there, Investors Business Daily. They're just scared, Eli. That's all. Now, the individual names we trade in are slightly different, but um, the general U.S. economy is fine. No real problems there at all. Let's see here. Dollar General and Ross made the latest list of new buys by the best mutual funds. It mentions VFC. Let's go take a look at VFC. Oh, that's nice. There's a nice cup with handle right there. There's a breakout. Didn't go up that much. Forming looks like a flat base, so a base on base pattern. $63 of the top performing funds from June to August invested $266 million in this stock. So from June to August, they invested a bunch in that stock right there. They own Lee, Wrangler, North Face, Dickies, JanSport. Has a 1.3 up-down ratio. Not bad. So in retail, it looks like here's a retail stock that could get going. What's up, Kevin? Can't tell if that omits that or not. All right, NASDAQ now up 0.8%, retracing almost half of yesterday's loss. So like I said, we need to see how we react today. Actually, more than half of yesterday's loss. So after overnight, we undercut that 50-day moving average, very similar to this. Hopefully, we can keep going the rest of the week. That would be pretty positive, I think. Match looking pretty good here. Hopefully Home Depot can reverse higher. Not much going on though. Just kind of everything's, not too much is moving. If you guys see something moving, let's pull it up. WLL's up a little bit there, 2.78%. Don't see it too often in the top of our list. Volume generally declining. Kind of a lower high being put in right here. Yeah, Eli, I saw that in terms of credit card debt at all. I heard that yesterday on the radio. Let's look that up. That's really scary. I would like to think that. So here's May 8th. Let's look for the past. Let's go on Google to search the past week. Credit Karma, U.S. Let's go to Market Watch. Probably seems a little more rational than Credit Karma. But yeah, this is actually concerning. Although it does mean you should buy Visa and MasterCard. Don't count on it. Who's this guy? By one measure, consumer debt might seem alarmingly high. Households carried 13.3 trillion in credit card debt. The tops that prior peak of 12.7 in 2008. Oh, here we go. Charts. We like these. So household mortgages are actually relatively climbing at a relatively nominal pace, it looks like. Definitely sustainable are the mortgages if you look at that. Credit card debt is blue. But liabilities is much lower. Oh, Eli, looking at that PM trade, did you like that one going out to 2021? Should we enlighten Kevin on that? The downtrend, this blue line is the liabilities, whatever DPI RHS means. So we've got student loans up here, we've got other debt up here. The blue is the credit card debt, which doesn't look like it eclipses this peak over here, but maybe it does by now. Oh, you got the Riot gamble? Yeah, I need to put on that Riot gamble. So I think they're talking overall debt is higher, which it looks like it is. I don't know the people doing that. Here's another one. Year-over-year growth rate is trending much lower. Is this real? That's good. Yeah, there was an indicator called market sentiment, and that market sentiment does lead to increased borrowing rates. But this right here, since 2015, it's showing a general decline in overall year-over-year debt growth rate. If this is to be believed, I have no idea, but that's a pretty interesting graph right there. Delinquencies are very low, and lending standards remain quite stringent. But yeah, I've got a friend in the mortgage business who says they're starting to bring a lot of those housing products back that got us into trouble, stated income loans, things of that nature. So we may see a little more in the future, but that's an interesting article right there. Nasdaq up 0.75% right now, so that's good. Oh yeah, let's look at that PM trade. All right, so Kevin, I'm going to let you in on a secret. On which one, Eli? Oh, just generally? Well, Christian, it looks like we've been saving more, so that's good. Yeah, PM would be a good candidate, I think. So let's pull up. So you guys are gonna get a treat, Eli. Let's do this live. Let's do a little bit of an experiment between you and me in terms of this PM trade. Let's kind of walk through it. What do you think? So what I think you could do, Eli, is this. I don't know if I can do this due to my trading in my Roth IRA. I can't sell any puts, but if you could sell puts, if you do view this as the bottom, so if you go to StockShed, so Eli built this tool basically for me, called StockShed, and what this is this is an options calculator, kind of my design, but he basically built it. I had it in a spreadsheet. So we'll put Philip Morris in here. It's going to get all the options over here And Kevin, if you're not so up on options, we can discuss it a little bit. Yeah, put for 100 something. So there's a couple ways you could do that. So we're looking out here all the way to 2021, and its all-time high is 123. So let's say it gets back to the all-time high. So this is what we're looking at, Kevin. Kevin, are you with us? We got to do this fairly quick. So, all right, either way, I'll do this. So this is what we're looking at here. This is using options to take a crap ton of money out of the market and also limiting our risk simultaneously. So if we have the thesis that our bottom is in for Philip Morris with these four lows going all the way back to 2014, if that's our thesis, we're really close to that level. So technically anything under 75 bucks, we should be safe in terms of not going under 75 bucks. That's the thesis. We don't know that for a fact. Now, what this stock tool does here, we've got 123 as the high. Let's say it gets back to 123. Now, there's probably some more fundamental research that needs to be done. If you put in the target of 123, this will tell you what these options will be worth by the expiration date of January 2021 via the target of 123. And it says here you can garner over 450% by buying a $105 call on Philip Morris. Excuse me. All right. That's even better than the other one. So $454 or 454%. So if you want to put in 10,000, you can buy 31 of these. That's what this number means here. They're going to cost you $325 a piece, and you're going to be able to buy 31 of them with 10,000 bucks. So hold on a second. I want to see if that's actually correct. Okay, looks like 110 is the furthest out strike that we have. So, okay, that's pretty interesting. So there you go. Potential, if you like that, for 454% gain. Yeah, what's up, Eli? What's going on, Eli? You missing something? You saying hi to someone? You made me stop my flow. When did I doubt? When did I doubt it? Well, I just double check. You said sometimes it gets crappy data from uh, Ameritrade. So anyway, okay. So you got a 454% potential gain on the table. Now you can go ahead and just buy that, and let's say now keep this in mind. Whatever you invest into an option is what your risk is. Okay. So like literally, that's your risk is $10,000 by putting this trade on. Let's say you're only comfortable with risking $1,000. If you're comfortable losing the $1,000, you can buy 3 of these call options and risk that $1,000, and you'll make 1,000 times 454%. So basically, 4,500 bucks. That's your potential gain by 2021. Now, obviously, if it happens before 2021, you'll make a little more money. And so this is what you're kind of betting on, is that scenario right there. Okay. Now we don't know how long it's going to stay down here. It could do this again for 2 years, even 3 years, and never quite get there. So another thing that the tool gives us is the break-even point, which is 108.25, right there. And so really your 108.25. So give or take something, that's your break-even risk. That's your full profit target. So you're kind of playing this game. And as a technical analyst, you have to ask yourself, is that likely to happen? Now, if you want to minimize that risk even further, what you can do is you can actually sell some puts if you think this is the low. So you think this low down here is done at 75. Now, I haven't even looked at puts with this tool. I think this just gives us calls right now. So we'll go up here, and you could use that 75 level. You could actually sell. You could sell one of these calls at 75 or 60 even if you wanted to. You could sell 3 of these for a little bit, yeah. You could actually sell 3 of these for, there's your bid, there's your ask. You could sell these for like, I don't know, let's just call it $4 here. And then you could buy, actually, so if you look at this is, okay, so the ask here is 325, the bid's 187. You could probably get this for 250. So that's going to really exaggerate that gain. But the point remains, you could buy this and you could sell this in a very simple strategy. You could sell one of these if you wanted to, or go way deep in the money here to 60 and sell these 60s. And what you're going to do is you're going to gather this premium. Now, unfortunately, you're going to have to carry these options, which means that it's going to take a lot of margin out of your account. But if that's a strategy that you're comfortable with, you can essentially take that risk for essentially $0. Now, another strategy you could take too is if you think 75 is the low, you could look for another strike price, like the $75 here expiring in 31 days is, basically 90 cents. So out of that $3, you could sell it for 90 cents here, and then once this expires, you reduce that margin immediately on the expiration of these options. And if we actually don't go below 75, by the time that expires, you keep all that premium, and then now you just have super cheap options, essentially, going out this far. So there's a number of ways to play that. If you understood that. Did you get that, Kevin? I don't know how much you know about options. Well, you could do that too. You can sell calls, you can sell puts. This isn't something I do. I just generally think that you can buy, call, and put. Yeah, don't do that. But I think if you think the stock is bottom, then you sell a put. So there's a weird tool in here which I don't ever really use. So here's a risk profile. I don't use this very much. Actually, ever. Where is it? No. No, that's something else. Home Depot headed a little bit lower there. Fizz dropping 2%. That's not bueno, but it is coming towards highs. Hopefully, we're just going to handle out here. We'll have to wait and see there. Darn it, I'm trying to. They have an options tool here that I have used in the past. That kind of explains your risk. So, all right, Kevin. Anyway, that's kind of a strategy you can take to kind of limit your entry cost. You can use some of those shorter term instruments against the longer term instruments. That's a couple ways to do that. And on PM, I don't think it's actually, a super horrible trade, to be honest with you. Look at those MJ stocks, 13%, 12%, 6%. Now they're leading. Now that Cron's up 12, it wasn't up that high earlier. And OGRMF, is up quite a bunch too. So I'd probably wait to buy these on a pullback right now. Roku doing pretty good. But yeah, in terms of Philip Morris, if you're of the thesis of that, if you're of the thought process that this has bottomed, now again, like we went over yesterday, there's a situation here that isn't so healthy on the right side of the chart. That is this gap here, being supported by this line. So we need to see if this maintains, see if that holds. But like I said, if you're of that thought process, you could take that position there and at a minimum limit your risk to the downside. And again, options give you the ability to have a time horizon as well. And those 2021 options in Philip Morris are, sorry guys, having a hiccup episode here. I mean, they're pretty cheap, especially way down here. You're looking at a potential massive gain in Philip Morris. So you can do the math generally yourself. Like if you think 232 is what it's going to be, and you're going to buy, let's say you buy it for 250. So we're looking at 105. We're looking at 232 minus 105. Oh, 123, excuse me. 123 minus 105 minus 250. That's not right. Shoot. Minus 105 minus 2.5. Okay, 15.5. So you do 2.5 divided by 15.5. Shoot. 620% gain on that potential position. What was your entry on that one? I could probably guess. All products. All products. There we go. Oh, I don't even see it traded here. Oh, you did 12:20 p.m. What is that, like 1,000,000,000%? Oh, this goes all the way out to 155. Wow. That's why I thought the tool was a little weird. Okay, so you did PM 12:20 105. You got in at 124. 878%. But you're actually cheaper than that. So that's a crazy gainer. That's a crazy gainer right there. Yeah, so you're probably at over 1,000% at 124, right? If you run those numbers. You can buy options on almost any platform, blah. You just have to ask them to do it and lie and tell them you traded options before. That's all. But anyway, so there's an example of kind of how to do that. He's doing 2020, which may be fine. I just thought that 2021 was much less risky and the reward is still ridiculous. But yeah, even that one's pretty good. So NASDAQ up a little over 0.8% right now, coming back after yesterday's bad day. Hopefully this will continue and market will stay good. I'm going to get going, guys. I'm going to get rocking out of here. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Yes, someone asked about Facebook. Yeah, Eli is correct. I didn't do the disclaimer today. But seriously, though, options are very risky. Options are extremely risky. Like I said, your risk on your option is what you buy it for. Like that whole amount is at risk. I'm dead serious about that. That's not a joking statement. So if you're comfortable losing $1,000, then you buy 1,000 worth of options. That's it. I mean, if these things gap down against you, they can go down massive. Now, going out to January 2020, 2021, it's not going to be as volatile. But let's say you bought something for December that expires in 94 days. So let's say you for some reason thought Philip Morris was going to get rocking, and you bought this 85 for $1.24, and let's say it drops $5, that's instantly worth what this is $5 more expensive, 50 cents. So you're instantly going to lose like 60% on what would be like a 5 or 10% move. And the inverse is true too, which is why you have to use good technicals, really good technicals with options. So it is not a beginner's game. And if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to come back tomorrow. We'll chat it over. But be safe out there, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.